My next guest is the person I would never slam the door on. He's been in the donut making game for over 45 years. He will gladly state if you cut him, he will bleed glaze, as in glazed donuts. He started Cousin Duzin, which is CD for short, donuts 24 years ago, and now has two locations in Brooklyn, New York, and Queens, New York. I've been to the Brooklyn, New York location. I have pictures of me eating those donuts. So I am a committed fan of what he does. He will be franchising in approximately 120 days. Please welcome to Money Making Conversation again. I haven't had him on in like 2 years. Please welcome to Money Making Conversation, my man, Todd Jones.
Hey, Rashawn, how's it going?
Pretty good. Are you at work? Where you at, man? Because this about work time for you, huh?
It definitely is, man. But I got a bunch of committed people, man, that can handle the reins of the business while I kind of relax a little bit. Because, like you said, you got to have that balance, man. You definitely got to have that balance.
Now, when you say the word work, because you're relaxed, because you're on the phone talking to me, promoting your brand. So that's not really technically relaxing, but in your world of physically out there, because your brand has changed and allows you to be able to, as I say, go out there and seek out opportunities to grow your brand, correct?
That's definitely correct. That's definitely correct. It's now, for all those years I've been working, in the business. Now I'm working on the business. It's a whole different philosophy, whole different perspective. That's how you really get growth, by working on the business.
Now, let's talk about the business. Let's talk about your experience first, okay? Because, nobody wakes up just making donuts. I know I can. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you, is that I am I have Krispy Kreme app on my phone. I will tell you that.
Right.
So
Okay.
I can just click and find out when the lights are on in the city of Atlanta or wherever I'm
Right.
at, and I will go there because I love glazed donuts. I don't like the donut. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like the donuts with all those little foo-foo and the little chocolate
Right.
cover and the little beads on it and little raisin brands and all. No. Give me
Right.
glazed donut. I love cake donuts too now, but those glazed
Right.
donuts that are warm, Todd,
Yes, sir.
I'm winning,
Yes, sir.
brother. I'm winning. I'm winning.
Well, let me just shout out Krispy Kreme, Sublime Donuts out there in Atlanta, and all those mom and pop donut shops out there. I'm a donut connoisseur. I'm the ambassador of donuts. I love all donuts.
Yes, sir.
We
Yes, sir.
all can win. There's
Absolutely.
no such thing as competition, because you say competition, that means it's not enough. It's
Yes.
all about cooperation. I'm in the donut business with all these other big brands.
Now,
So,
so now, with that being said, how did it all start for you in the donut business?
So 45 years ago, my sister worked in a donut shop called A Cup and Two, and it was owned by 3 African American men.
Right.
First time I ever saw African men. First time I've ever seen 3 African American men owning something.
Yes, sir.
And I think that was my inspiration.
Right.
From there I saw them calling the shots, paying the bills, just being in charge of the destiny. So that shop was in existence for about 3-4 years. Then it closed, and then I started working for mom and pop donut shops. And from working for mom and pop donut shops, I eventually landed a job with the big brand Dunkin' Donuts. Worked for them for 20 years. Was the highest paid baker in Dunkin' Donuts history. I drove a BMW that said "Buy Donuts." Rashawn, I was making dough. I was getting it. I was getting it. So after about 20 years, I was working for one of the largest Dunkin' Donut franchises, and they decided to sell it to another owner. And he decided I was making too much money. He fired me and gave me 1 week severance pay, and that was it.
Right.
And I said, Rashawn, this is never going to happen again.
Absolutely.
Never going to happen again.
Absolutely.
My daughter was supposed to be born 3 months before that, and here I was with no job. Because I like to read books, the Spirit says, go to Barnes & Noble's, relax. I go into Barnes & Noble's, walk past the magazine rack, something tells me to stop. I stop, I look up, it's Entrepreneur magazine. Can't make this up, Rashawn. I opened up Entrepreneur magazine, and right there was a donut machine. I said, God, say no more. And I never, ever looked back.
You open up the magazine, it is a donut
Yes, sir.
machine.
Yeah, the donut machine. The exact donut machine that I'm using today. Yep.
Wow.
Now,
Wow.
yeah.
You know, when you look back on it, he just gave you the push. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was
Yeah.
it wasn't a nice push, but it was a
No.
push.
Yeah. Had I not been fired, I probably would have been a Dunkin' Donut franchisee. Probably. But that wasn't what God had for me.
Right.
He had for me to own my own franchise and be the franchisor who sells franchises to other people.
Right. Right. So let's talk about the name. How did you come up with the name? And then we're going to talk about the product, and then we're going to talk about franchising. Let's talk about how did you come up with the name?
So all ideas come from God, right? I just happen to be open enough to receive that.
Right.
That was my gift from God. The name Cuzin does. Anything I've ever come up with, any idea I've ever come up with, I give all glory to God.
Yes, sir.
Because that's where it comes from. So, how it happens, I go to sleep, I wake up, and it's like, Cuzin doesn't. Oh, wow, thank you, God. And I run with it. That's how it works for me, Rushion.
And guess what? And you accepting of it. That's the beauty.
Oh, yes.
A lot of people,
Yes.
A good thought come to them, and they on their third thought, question it. Well, it's not
Right.
that's really, I always tell people, ride that first thought. That's the thought you ride
sir.
with. That third thought of the first thought really is the
Right.
waste of your thoughts. Okay? So go back to the first thought. So Cuzin Duzin came to you, said, that's the name of my business.
Exactly. And it fit perfectly because of the fact that when you have a Cuzin Dozen experience, it's like family. When you come into the shop, hey, cousin, how you doing?
Right.
I want this experience to be family-oriented.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Because a donut is a donut is a donut. But we're an experience. We do what we call eatertainment, which means you can see the donut being made, you could smell a donut being made, you could taste it being made. So we hit all these senses. It's an experience.
I love this guy. I love it, because he got me hungry. I'm hungry. I'm waiting on a donut, and you're in New York City. Now, here's the thing about it is that you create an interactive experience, like you said,
Yes, sir.
entertainment. You can smell it and taste it and see it.
Yes.
And you create.
Yes.
You also have a signature donut. Is the funnel cake, which is another one of my favorite carnival desserts. Is the funnel cake. So tell me exactly what is a funnel donut, because it almost feels like it's a beignet, kind of like.
Okay, so my partner, Eric Santiago, who's affectionately known as Easy Glaze, we are always brainstorming stuff. And we said we need to have a unique donut that can, signify who we are. So I started thinking Brooklyn. I'm like, wait a minute, Coney Island. So he looks at me, he goes, yeah, Coney Island. And at the same moment, we go, funnel cake. I said, put it together. We go, funnel cake donut. Bingo. That was it. So it's a combination, just like a cronut is a croissant and a donut together.
Right.
But a funnel cake donut is a funnel cake and a donut together.
Look how he dropped his voice. Together. You're sinister with your food, Todd.
Yes, sir.
A funnel
Yes, sir.
cake and a donut together. I love it. I'm telling you, if you're ever in Brooklyn, you got to go by and see it, because are you at both locations now? Or you spend most of your time at the Brooklyn location. Tell us exactly where you're at in Brooklyn, by the way.
Actually, because we're building this franchise, I'm sometimes at Brooklyn, sometimes at Queens. It depends on what I'm doing for the day. But usually you can find me in Brooklyn.
So what exactly? Tell everybody the exact location in Brooklyn.
So the exact location is at the City Point Mall. It used to be the Albee Square Mall back in the days.
Right.
At 445 Albee Square West, down in the food hall right next to Trader Joe's. And the Queens location is at the Queens Center Mall, 9015 Queens Boulevard.
Right there, because you come in, you say you're kind of like in the back, right? Because I remember on that.
Yeah. So you come down the escalator in Brooklyn.
Yes.
We're right to the left of the escalator, and then Queens.
Smell. First of all, come down the escalator, and if you're a donut connoisseur like I am, just smell. And I swear to you, you go right over there to this man, and I don't know who's there now. Hopefully somebody is just as enthusiastic as he is, because everything he said on this interview, that's him. You know, it's a passion. It's so funny when he gives you the donut, he watches you. He wants to see, are you going to have the same enthusiasm for eating it that he had making it? And
Exactly.
I'm tell you something. That's what I want. See, I don't like anybody to just give me some food, walk away. Sometimes I like for them to go, yeah, this is really, really good. Because sometimes that's the only person you can share with when you by yourself is the person that gives you the food. And so you have to worry about the Todd. Todd give you those donuts. He gonna go, okay, what do you think now? He'll rub his hands sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. You know, that his whole game plan is about you feeling good about the food that he makes. When we come back on our next break, we're gonna talk about these grown folks donuts. Donuts for grown-ups. See, he got a little bit for everybody. He got donuts for the kids, donuts for the kids who are bigger than kids. Then he got donuts for the grown-ups. Be back with more Money Making Conversation. Hi, this is Rushion McDonald, and you're listening to Money Making Conversation. As I've told many people, Money Making Conversation is a show where I bring CEOs, small entrepreneurs, business owners, CEOs, as I said earlier, as well as industry decision makers and celebrities, because celebrities are entrepreneurs. On the phone is my man. He's the owner of Cuzin, Duzin, CD, 24 years. Just walking in a bookstore, open the magazine, donut machine sitting right there, and he's been using that donut machine ever since to build his brand, to build his business. Now, see, I don't drink, so as soon as I went there, he watching me eat these donuts, right? And he know I was putting on a show too, because he puts in this little box that you can like fold the top. It's like a little box that you might see like for Chinese food type box, because they're small donuts. And so, which is really deceiving, because you think you're not eating much, and you wind up eating like a dozen donuts, you know. It's like when you eat donut holes, right, Todd? You know, you really don't realize how many donuts you've eaten when you're eating these donut holes. So these little mini donuts, which are fantastic. So then he was telling me, Rishabh, you gotta try my grown-up donuts. That's what you're talking about. So tell everybody, Todd, about the grown-up donuts.
Okay, so first of all, I want to talk about as far as with the donuts being mini. Our tagline is "Mini is the new skinny." Only 31 calories per donut. Yes, sir.
I love it. Mini is the new skinny. Only 31 calories per donut.
That is correct.
That's 10 donuts. 10 donuts. See right there, 310. Mm-hmm. I'm still doing good. See, again, I love this man. He's a marketing genius. He has the tag phrases. He has the enthusiasm. Now he has the liquored donuts.
Yes, we have the donuts for grown-ups. The first time I ever announced doing that was at I was doing the Dream Project in Atlanta, and they were doing a pitch contest. And I just came up with that. That was an idea that came up about donuts for grown-ups, alcohol-infused donuts. And the first donut I ever talked about was Ciroc donuts. Yes. I announced that I was doing Ciroc donuts, and everybody always says, "What is that? What is that?" And I'll never forget how this happened. It was Good Friday when I announced it on stage. Rushion, do you know that Easter Sunday morning, I get a call from Puffy's people, Puff Daddy, and said, "Hey, we heard about these Ciroc donuts. Bring them up to my office." I was blown away.
You lying?
Blown away. So, of course, I go up to the office. I was invited up there by one of Puffy's people, Erica Pittman, and she took them upstairs. I hit her up and asked how did they like it. They said they loved them. So I knew I was on to something. And, I was doing all the Ciroc donuts. Every time they came out with a flavor, I was doing it. And then I started doing Hennessy donuts. Ooh. And my tagline for that was, anything's possible.
Mini is the new skinny. Hennessy possible. Come on now, keep talking to me, brother.
Anything's possible. Yes, sir. So we started doing Hennessy donuts, and a production company came to us and asked us, could they, shoot us doing the Hennessy donuts. That video they shot, it went viral, and I started to become known, making Hennessy donuts.
Mm-hmm.
I started making pink Moscato donuts. We won a prize at the Bacon and Bear Festival doing Corona drizzled donuts. This is me and Easy Glaze, my partner. We are known as a dynamic donut duo. Like, we get these donuts in.
This is great. I'm talking to Todd Jones. He's the owner and operator of Cuzin. He's a show. He's a show because of the fact that he loves what he does. And if you're ever around anybody that loves what they do, whether it's a person behind a barbecue grill, it's like watching your uncle or your brother who can really barbecue in your backyard. Just talking noise. Come over here and get this barbecue. Come on, get these donuts. That's all he said. Come on, get these donuts. Go, you don't know nothing about these donuts because you have one of my donuts, a mini skinny. All that good stuff. That's the beauty of what you do. So let's talk about a couple of things that, what is the overall vision of CD?
So the overall vision of Cuzin's Duzin is this. This is the statement. This is the vision. Cuzin's Duzin is the fastest growing franchise in franchise history. I stand by that. I declare that. And that's the vision that was given to me by God. No matter what's going on,
right,
that is the vision, and we will accomplish that.
And what will make your franchises successful, or what's the, because you're a marketeer, okay? You have great product, and then all of a sudden, are you going to expand that menu to, like, some people, I go, they have shakes, they have the milk, they have their ice cream. So what is the menu of Cuzin's Duzin?
Cuzin's Duzin is going to sell just two products. It's all about focus. We're going to sell drinks and our donuts. We have a drink called Mama Made Lemonade. We also have a drink called the Tiger Woo, and I'll explain what the Tiger Woo is. See, we don't do
Tiger Woo? Tiger Woo or Tiger Woo?
Tiger Woo.
Tiger Woo.
Tiger Woo. See, people come there and ask for Arnold Palmer, which is, the lemonade and the iced tea. We got a special iced tea, Hawaiian iced tea. So we said, we don't do that. We do a Tiger Woo. Now, it's really Tiger Woods, but I can't pay him right now.
I know it was. A Tiger Woo. A Tiger Woo.
Yeah, so if you want to woo, come see us at Cuzin Duzin.
This is beautiful. So let's talk about the experience about the Viceland show Hustle that you were on.
Oh, so we happened to be on Viceland because I did a job for Shay Woods at 5001.
That's my girl, Shay Woods. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I did a job for her in her backyard. She was having an anniversary party, and I'm back there making, Hennessy donuts. Everybody's in the front. And all of a sudden, here comes Marcus Samuelson. By himself. It's just me and him. So he comes over to me, and he's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm making Hennessy donuts. He goes, Hennessy donuts? I said, yeah, would you like to taste one? Gave it to Marcus. Marcus put the donut in his mouth. He goes, do you have a card? I said, do I have a card? I will write my name in blood for Marcus Samuelson. Are you kidding me?
You're talking to the wrong person. I am a business card.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So fast forward a year and a half after that, there was a casting that somebody told me about that was they were looking for businesses, up-and-coming businesses. So I did the casting call. The casting director, submitted it. She loved it. And they asked me to be on the show Viceland. I also sent a casting thing with my partner, Easy Glaze. They thought we were a perfect fit. So we, started shooting. I did not know that Marcus Samuelson was a producer along with Alicia Keys. So I'm like, wow. So when we had the premiere party, Marcus comes in and he comes over to me and he says to me, do you know why you on the show? And I'm like trying to act like, no, I don't. He goes, yeah, I picked you. I'm like, wow. And then he says to me, because Marcus is so smooth.
Yes,
then he says to me, "Don't be surprised who's watching you." And he just like glides away in a puff of smoke. That's how I saw it.
He's so funny to me.
That's how I saw it. That's how I saw it.
A puff of smoke.
A puff of smoke. Like, that's how Marcus, he comes in and he comes out. He comes in, he comes out.
You should say,
and then
you should say, he just slid away on a glazed donut. See, I'm kind of work with you.
That's what he did. That's what he did, Rashawn. I saw him. I saw him, man. So you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then about 2 months after that, I get a call from his people that he wants me to do an event, cater event for him at Macy's. You know, which I did. So I'm catering the show, and you know we're standing in the audience, and then all of a sudden Marcus got the microphone. He goes, "Where's Cuzin? Where's Cuzin?" So I'm asking my partner, "Who are you talking about?" He said, "He talking about you." So he finally sees me. Marcus sees me. He goes, "Come, Todd, come on upstage and introduce yourself." I'm like, "Oh wow, Marcus Samuelson brought me on stage, man." I'm like, "How good could that get? How good could that get?" So you know. Very, very excited about that. I'm grateful for Viceland for giving us the opportunity to showcase our brand. If you watch the show on Viceland, it's called Hustle. Our episode is Time to Make the Donuts. And on the episode, we get to, strike a deal with the Barclays Arena, to be in the Barclays Arena for 6 events. And we also talk about franchising. So every time the show plays, we get people inquiring about franchising. And it's funny, it got played internationally. It got played in France, and I get an email that's all in French, Rashawn. The only thing I understood was franchise, so I replied back, "Oui, oui." Yeah. You can have a franchise in France, my man.
Oui, yeah. If you're not a fool. I love it. I'm talking to my man, Todd Jones. He's an incredible, dynamic owner. He's the man. Like he said, if you cut him, he will bleed glaze. He's the owner, co-owner of Cuzin, Duzin. They're franchising out there. How can they reach out to you to learn more about the franchising process, Todd?
Well, you can reach out at info@cousinsdozen.com. But like I said, after 120 days, we'll have perspectives, and people could see what it is that we got. And we're actually, especially in the beginning stage, we're looking for individuals with high net worth, because what we want to do is sell them territories.
Yes, sir.
Buy a minimum of 10 franchises.
Yes,
we
sir.
also throw in a mobile unit with that. That's how we become the fastest growing franchise in franchise history. Not by doing addition, by selling one here and one there and one there, by doing multiplication.
Absolutely.
That's how you become the fastest growing franchise in franchise history.
My man, Todd, thank you for coming on my show, man. Cuzin Duzin.